Index cards, withdrawal. I got some YouTuber to 1,000 subscribers by subbing once. I finished my Spanish project. I'm on Haiku Season 4 after 898 episodes. The episode number and the series episode count number are equal. And just like that, welcome to Memoria Freese Memoria Freese Y3, episode 800. 899. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, dark and light, I don't know, good and evil, welcome back to another finale, to another 100 episodes. You know, I just spent an hour and a half writing notes on a single episode. You know that I just spent an hour and a half watching episode 3 and writing notes for episode 3. Do you know that I just did that? Did we get a new character? No, we didn't. We didn't get a. We got a new weapon though. We got meat fruit. Yay. There's so much to talk about. It's currently 1:14 in the morning. And I know this really should be episode 900, but who the hell cares? So yeah, it's episode 899. I'm obviously feeling a lot better, especially if you couldn't tell from last episode, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm still a little dizzy because I'm not eating as much, because we're just being cautious and whatnot. But yeah. I mean, way to start to the episode. I mean, index cards, withdrawal. So to answer those two words, those two first things that I said were so random. Index cards are the name of the little postcards that I lost the name of in frickin' episode whatever where I did New Generation Pop Stars rerun in one go. And then withdrawal is the word that I think I was missing last episode from my mind. That was slipping from my mind last episode. Besides that, yeah, I got some YouTuber that there was this video and I recommended, and I watched it, and I saw this YouTuber had 999 subs, and I subscribed, and I got him to 1,000, and I'm like, yo, did I just get this guy to 1,000 subs? And I got a heart from the guy, but then I edited my comment, which then removed the heart because I edited the comment, and so that sucked. But yeah, I now have the weird the weird knowledge of knowing that I made someone's day by getting them to 1,000 subscribers yesterday. Of course, I'm also on Haiku Season 4. I'm just going into depth with all these things before I talk about anything else because this is going to be a long episode, so, might as well make it longer. Yeah, I'm on Haiku Season 4. I finished Haiku Season 3. Actually, when did I make yesterday's video? I think it was I was in the middle of finishing Season 2. I think it was in the middle of finishing Season 2 when I recorded yesterday's episode. Or last episode, I should say. But I don't really remember. But, here I am. I'm good. I'm just gonna lower the volume a bit because, it's just needed. It's not. Yeah, so I'm on Haiku Season 4. I finished Season 2 yesterday. I started and finished Season 3, which was just 10 episodes. I'm surprised. I thought I had the whole pattern down. that there was going to be 25 episodes per season. But apparently I was wrong. And I'm fine with that, actually. Though I'm not at the same time, but, whatever. Still cool, still fun. But yeah, like I said, I'm on season 4. It's called Haiku to the Top. Looks very, very cool. I'm very, very interested in seeing how all of that is gonna get through. So far, like I said, it seems exciting, but I don't know. It's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's just it seems like a very uncomfortable start to a certainly strong looking season. That's how good anime start off, I guess. Anyway, besides that, what was the other thing that I wanted to mention? Oh yeah, so I finished my Spanish project today. I worked on it day to night. I also should say, speaking of working day to night, yesterday I kept on grinding out the hours in between, like the minutes in between haiku episodes, and I added every single description because I went way back to like Estrella record times, and apparently there was episodes that I hadn't done the descriptions for, nearing the finale of Estrella record overall. So I did those. I added all the episodes to the playlist. Like I just said, the number, and this is crazy, because when I found this out, I almost screamed my lungs out. I actually cried, guys. And I'm not even kidding. For all the time that this series has been a series, I have never gotten to an episode. Maybe I have, but maybe I've just never seen it. But to my recollection, I've never seen, or we've never been able to get to a point where the last video in the playlist is the same episode number as there is videos in the playlist. And that's never happened. And the fact that it's now happened is amazing. Everything's on parity, man. Taking those 5 days off and the last, not the 5 days off, but taking those 4 days off and skipping, forgetting to count day 854. Oh, it helped us out so much, folks. It helped us out so much. And now we're here. Oh, this is so cool. I'm so happy. I can't believe we're finally on parity. And just before the final episode. I mean, not before the final episode, but before episode 900. It's super cool. Well, actually before this episode, but who the hell cares? I'm announcing it before episode 900. So, before we get to episode 900, we obviously have to tackle a huge challenge. A huge challenge, a gigantic challenge, dare I say, an enormous challenge. And that enormous challenge is something that not only, we have to go through, but I had to go through, so then you all can go through listening to while you're probably just playing something. I don't know. Let's be honest, folks. If I'm not doing an event, there's no point in watching the video. I mean, if I'm not doing an event, there's no point in watching the video. At best, it's just a podcast. Am I right or am I right? Anyway. We are tasked with reviewing episode 3 at 1 in the goddamn morning. Episode 3 of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon 3. Otherwise known as Xenos Outliers. So much was revealed and was not shown but teased. So much surprise, so much reaction, so much mysteries, like so much pressure was revealed, so many new characters, so many new possibilities. A theory that I had was confirmed, which is like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, a theory that I had was confirmed. I'm not gonna say it yet, but like, a theory of mine was confirmed. Wow. Man, the season 3 is shaping up to be like season 2, with every episode just getting better. Ah, man. So, last episode, our last review of episode 2, before I recap the ending of that, I paused a lot through that episode. Because I wanted to get a lot of stuff down. And I did the same for this episode. And the list of notes that I have are like, I think are longer than the notes for episodes 1 and 2 combined. Like I wrote so much. I wrote what literally happened in every scene except for like 2 lines. I'm not even joking. I was so close to writing this episode word per word that I don't even have to say anything else than my notes. And I can just say the notes and I can just get the hell out of here and go to sleep. Even though I'm not, because I kind of want to try to enjoy season 4, even though it's a bit of a wacky start. Anyway. So yeah, I took a lot of pauses in this episode. So many pauses. Like, after every 3 seconds I took a pause. There was like 1 or 2 times where I waited 2 minutes to take a pause. But like, I mean, I just didn't stop pausing, man. But I'm so glad that I didn't stop pausing, because wow. Guys, this is gonna be such a... Guys, I don't think you understand how much happened in this episode. Oh my lord. Okay, but before we do anything, let's do the gacha. This is a person. Oh, I guess I can't... I guess I can't really say anything about that person yet, can I? Shoot. Am I gonna have to do the gacha? Wait, am I gonna have to review the episode before I do the gacha? Damn it. Fooled by the Tungsten Danger. Guys, this is gonna be a high review. Even though I'm not high. Alright. Let's get to it. I'm gonna review this episode. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna review this episode in the kitchen. Which, guys, did you know that I actually made the first episode of Memoria Freeze in the kitchen? Oh my gosh, guys, that's so cool. That's probably the coolest thing ever. Wow. Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of stuff happened this episode. Honestly, so much happened that, I honestly don't know how I'm gonna live my life without seeing the next episode of Season 3 tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna live my life if I don't see Season 3, Episode 4 tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna go on, folks. I really don't. Okay, I've been teasing it too much, haven't I? I've been teasing it too much, alright. Well, 14 minutes in the episode. Let's get on with the review. Episode 3, Xenos, Outliers. Episode starts off with Misha, which I don't think we've seen Misha on the show before. If we have, then, well, we have, but we haven't seen her this season, so it's just cool to see her. So episode starts off with Misha and other guild members running through the halls, wondering what's happening since they just woke up. It was funny because it literally just starts off with that. It's like It's like Misha's like, oh, why are they? What's happening? Like, we just woke up. Like, I just woke up. Like, why so early? I just got the night shift off. And apparently, it's just this huge emergency that's going on. And during all this chaos, adventurers outside the guild are asking what's going on to the guild. To the guild, who are looking into the monster that appeared yesterday, obviously. Ween, and Aina is trying to calm them down, and when I say adventurers outside the guild are asking what's going on, it's not like 10 adventurers, it's like 50 adventurers. It's like a mob. It's like whoa, that's a lot of adventurers. It's like the amount of adventurers you'd see if Loki Familia is coming back from an expedition. I'm like, holy shit. Like, the folks are really folks are really wondering what's going on. And, Aina's trying to calm him down. But then the team leader, he looks pretty cool. We don't get to know his name or anything, but Aina calls him team leader. And team leader, tells Aina that he's gonna take over for her. Because Aina is asked to go to Lumen? I mean, he doesn't say Lumen. He says to the guild's, captain, or, the guild's master, or whatever. And immediately I'm like, Lumen? And, folks, I don't know what's wrong with me thinking that, it's the first time seeing every character in this damn show in the beginning. But I swear, we have never seen Loomis. Freaking Loomis. This isn't Friday the 3rd. Alright, we haven't seen Lumen in the actual show before. We've never seen him in the show before. At least, to my recollection, we haven't. And so, Aina goes to Lumen, and Aina is tasked by Lumen to deliver a letter. Alright? A letter. Alright? Follow me here, folks. A letter. You hear that? A letter. Alright. I'm too hyped up for this. Deliver a letter to Belle from Hestia for me. I mean, we already know this. That is tasking them. So she's asked to deliver a letter to Belle, and the letter is tasking Hestia Familia with an official mission from the guild. And Aina, once Aina is about to, ask a question or something, Lumen's like, further inquiry is forbidden. Duty is of absolute secrecy. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then epic intro starts. Everybody following along? Everybody following along? Epic intro starts. We've seen Misha. We've seen adventurers. We've seen team leader. We've seen Lumen. We've seen the letter. Looks like a really cool letter. Looks like an official guild letter. I wonder why. Got it. Great. You've seen the intro. Perfect. Okay. Episode continues with Belle and Aina sitting in their usual conversation room, where she passes him the letter, and it says, alright, yeah. So where she passes him the letter, there's just want to build up the scene for y'all, because I'm pretty sure y'all have a pretty good idea of what the conversation room looks like. But it's just wooden table. One of them's across the wooden table. The other one's across the other end of the wooden table. Aina passes him the freaking letter across the table. Belle opens it with a letter opener, and it says something that he can't. Oh, and okay, yeah. So passing the letter, and then she says that a mission is different from a quest, and obviously, this. I feel like this should be something that most people know. I mean, I felt like I should have known it, But apparently I thought, I don't know, for some reason I thought a quest and a mission were like different levels of each other. So follow me here, right? So I never thought they were the same thing, but instead I thought that a mission is more of a current time thing, and a quest is more of a pastime thing. So a quest is the thing of the past, and a mission is the thing of the present. But I guess they're interchangeable. I don't know. But how she defines it is that a quest is different from a mission, in the sense of where you can accept or deny a quest, you cannot deny a mission. And I'm like, oh my lord, this is so cool. And she also says that missions are usually given to larger familias. Belle, you're so cool. You're so cool. You're rising up so far, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, my white rabbit. Okay. And she doesn't know why Hestia Familia would be tasked with one. Belle then opens the letter, of course, with the letter opener, and reads it. And it reads, "Proceed to the 20th floor with the Dragon Girl." And I'm like, Okay, Guild. I see you with your shady shit. What am I getting into? This is me at 1 a.m, folks. Holy sh... I mean, this might just be for content, but I'm just getting into it, man. I'm just getting into it. So yeah, it reads, "Proceed to the 20th floor with the Dragon Girl." And I'm like, is that right? Is that right? I mean, okay. And I didn't pick it up at the time, but apparently, they haven't been. Hestia Familia has not been to the 20th floor. So actually, this episode is the first time we see them going to the 20th floor. Because they just were... Aina was just, like, a few episodes ago, or like a few days ago in Showtime, I suppose, Aina just approved that they could go to the 19th floor. And so the fact that they're going to the 20th floor, I mean, if that doesn't show how quickly Hestia Familia is growing, you know, in I guess in, not in fortitude, but in speed. Well, it shows it now. Anyway. Belle is surprised by that. Aina is worried. Belle says he's fine. Aina asks for Belle to ask advice from her. And I was about to say, like, I was thinking, like, Belle, are you going to tell her about all this? And it's like, I don't know if Belle's going to tell her. I think Belle's going to tell her. And then Belle doesn't straight up tell her. And says, "Will you please excuse me?" And I'm like, my baby boy is growing up. Holy shit. Alright, anyway. I'm not even past the first page of notes, folks, because I wrote this all on a notebook. And by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. 5 pages worth of notes in a college-ruled notebook, I think. Yeah, in a college-ruled notebook, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. $33 lines. So that's 33 times 5. Freaking, I don't know. I can't do the math right now. Probably like... like 165 lines or something. I don't know. Alright, anyway. Continuing. The next scene leads us to a meeting at the Hearthfire Manor, which seems to just be the norm of season 3, and I like it. I like that we're using the Hearthfire Manor a lot, because we got the Hearthfire Manor in season 2, and and I'm like, how are we going to use this whole place as like a convenient plot device sometimes, and it's such a huge place sometimes, I guess. And it just works. I'm really glad. Anyway. So, the next scene, like I said, meeting at the Hearthfire Manor living room, where Lily is surprised. Oh, alright. Before I say where Lily is surprised, let me say that there's... So they first have a quick talk about, like, how did the guild know about this? Or like, do you think they knew about it on the attack, or like they knew about this so quick? And then they come up with the theory that the guild might have known about Ween before the attack. And so then Lily is surprised that instead of imprisoning the Familia, she doesn't specifically say imprisoning the Familia, but she's surprised that instead she's surprised that instead of the guild saying arrest them, or like suspend them, or like return Ween to the guild to then, have her executed or something, right? God forbid. But she's surprised that it's instead bring her to the 20th floor. Continuing onto the second page, finally. Everyone's questioning if they'll be able to make it, since, like I said, they've never been to the 20th floor. Going to floor 20 is a first. Haruhime, so then they make a plan that Haruhime will raise their powers to make it. And then after that, Belle feels responsible about the whole situation, says sorry. And he and with that, he tightens his fist, as all really just ticked off anime characters get. I've seen it a million times in haiku. Freaking Shoyo or Hinata, whatever you want to call him. Just he gets really pissed off. They're like, or no, that's freaking Skishima. Skishima's like with the whatever. My point is, I'm really into haiku. No, but the point is, why am I talking about haiku in a review? God damn it, I said I wouldn't talk about haiku in the review. I'm failing, shit. Alright, so, Belle feels responsible. Haru comforts him, saying, never regret saving Ween. Belle is awestruck, and their faces are super close. He's awestruck, he's blushing, she's blushing, their faces are close. And then Lily, the absolute best character she is, just pulls her tail. Just pulls Haruhime away from Belle. And then after that, all agree to go together. Welf and Makoto say some lines that shows how close everyone is. An example of that is I forget who says it, but one of the two say that we're all in this together, but we all share the same fate. And I really like that line. We all share the same fate now. Like I said in the notes, it shows how close everyone is. Anyway, and next scene, Bella's walking in the Hearthfire Manor halls to Ween's room to check up on her. And it's also evening, just wanted to mention that, Belle goes to talk to Ween about going back into the dungeon with them, which, I thought, man, that's it. I didn't really think about that, wow. It's okay, yeah. That's pretty strange, if they're asking Belle and co. to bring Ween to the 20th floor. But I didn't think about how Ween would feel about that. And so hearing her say, hearing her hesitate made me realize, oh yeah, there was a time where she was in the dungeon and she was being chased. Like, that only happened, like, 2 episodes ago. Like, what the fuck? But besides that, I just want to mention this one thing before we continue with that little scene. Ween's one wing is still showing. So, I thought when her one wing, like, sort of sprouted out last episode, it would sort of be, like, a retractable thing. Like, because that's kind of how wings work. Right? Wings are, most of the time, retractable. Right? Like bats and birds. Yeah. So I thought it'd be a retractable thing, but apparently it's just, like, there now. Or maybe it was just there in that scene. But anyway. Yeah, so she hesitates to answer and then says, I'll go, even though she's scared, and lays on Belle's side and tells him she loves him. Aw, it's so cute. Ween is such a wholesome character. I love her. Anyway, next scene, Dees gets news about Hestia Familia, I think because he tells everyone being the hunters and the Familia, to look out for Hestia Familia, and that's just, it's not even a spoiler for me to say this, that's literally the only time we see Dees in this episode. Just when he says, yo, look out for Hestia Familia, and that's it. We just don't see him ever again in the episode, and it's like, well, that kind of sucks, but not really, doesn't suck at all. That doesn't suck at all. Dees is so unimportant this episode, it's bonkers. I love it so much. I love seeing Dees not be important. Okay. Next scene, we see Hermes. So I just want to mention, so these next scenes are sort of just, like, back-to-back. Obviously, like, all scenes are back-to-back, but, like, I really had to pause every single second just to show, like, if you rewatch episode 3, you can see that I'm literally writing down every single fucking scene, and it's insane. Even if it's just, like, for one second. I'm just writing every scene. Anyway, so the next scene, we see Hermes, Laloon. I just wanted to, like the way this next bullet point is written is, like, really short, because, like, it's really quick, because I didn't want to this next bullet point is really quick because I didn't want to drag it on too much. And so I just put, next scene, Hermes, Laloon, alleyway. Says things are starting to move, and his thoughts on Uranus using Belle and the others as a lure is comfortable, handles the rest to his feet. I find that very interesting. So I assume that Hermes is in on this whole thing. I mean, we all know that Hermes is in on this whole thing. But the fact that he officially now knows that Belle is in on it too, that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool to know that your homies are... I mean, Belle doesn't know, but, like, it's pretty cool to know that your homies are, they're on the same mission as you. I guess, kind of. Anyway. Or know the same secrets. I don't know. Then after that, everyone leaves to the dungeon. And then after everyone leaves to the dungeon, where I didn't mention the notes, but I'm just realizing it now. We actually see Ween's one wing, I guess, close up. So we don't have to really worry about that. So what happens next is... So, from this point on, when they leave into the dungeon, everything that happens is just beyond me. well, it's not beyond me, but it's just completely unexpected. Okay, I gotta stop saying it's unexpected and beyond me. What happens next is so surprising and so interesting, and I'm gonna say it even though it's not what I really wanted to say, and so unexpectedly awesome that I don't even know of any other S ranking this season, folks. You know, except for Haiku. Okay. So everyone leaves for the dungeon. Hestia then goes off and follows this paper she's been holding. And this paper that she's been holding, I mentioned it like a few words later in the bullet point. But the paper she's holding is the letter. Because what I didn't mention is that earlier in the meeting in the Hearthfire Manor, which I keep on calling the Hearthstone Manor, I don't know why. In the Hearthfire Manor, she looked at the letter. She was looking at the letter and saw this scribe around the letter, like this sort of. She saw like a frame around the letter, but it was written in what it may just seem to mortals as squiggly lines, but apparently it's fucking sacred text, and so she cracked the code like she's fucking Sherlock Holmes, and and it leads her to ruins where she meets motherfucking Fells. Oh my gosh! She meets Fells, guys. She meets Fells. Hestia then questions Fells. Fells then says, "I'm sorry to have..." Like Fells is like, "Nice to meet you, Hestia. This is our first meeting," and this and that. She's like, "Nice to meet you too. Are you a person or..." And you know what he does? You know what Fells does? Fells, guys, I nearly died when I saw what he was about to do. Fells took off his mask. Fells took off his hood. Unraveled his we don't know, because the scene cuts. Because the scene cuts to Belle. God fucking damn it, Maria Freese. But you know who does see his face? Hestia. And she's like, "Oh." And then it's like, what do you mean, oh? What do you mean, oh, Hestia? What do you mean? What do you mean? And it's like, Maria Freese, why do you have to tease us like this? Why must you tease us? Why must you tease us, you foul beast? Not you foul beasts. You are beautiful people. You are angels. Bless you. Anyway, I love how we're like about to hit the 40-minute mark and we haven't even gotten through like half of the fucking episode. Anyway, so we go back to Belle and Co., who is running to the 18th floor, fighting through saber-toothed tiger monsters. He uses firebolt, and the hallway that, I didn't mention that they were running through a hallway, but they're running through a hallway to the 18th floor, and it's the hallway, I mean, y'all have seen it 500 times before, either in-game or probably in the anime, and in the manga, too, if you've read it. It's the icy, blocky hallway thing, you get it. It's the floor with the fucking, floor boss. But they're just being chased by saber-tooth tigers. He uses firebolt. It's pretty epic. And they make it to the entrance of the 19th floor. and do last-minute checks. Lily asks Ralph, hey, how many magic swords do you have? He says 3. And then Lily is sort of like the second in command. I know that I've probably said this before, but Lily is acting more like a second in command for a second captain to the Familia. Which I like that. It's like a co-captain type thing. I like it. Lily's pretty epic, guys. Well, I mean, Lily is the supporter, so, I mean, she's trying to support everybody. I don't know. It only makes sense for her to do last-minute checks. So, Lily tells Haruhime to power up Ralph on the 19th floor. And Makoto is tasked with finding any monsters to, clear the way or whatever. And then, just like that, they all take a deep breath, and Fels and Hestia are walking through an underground byways. You heard that right. Byways is what he calls it. I would call it a passageway, but, do what you do, I don't know why I made a Hamilton. Anyway, yeah, Fels and Hestia are walking through underground byways, which, he says almost no one knows about. And they reach a dead end, and before they reach the dead end, before I say what happens when they reach the dead end, I wanna sort of describe these passageways. They're thinner. I think they're much thinner and higher. Yeah, they're thinner in width, but I think in height they're about the same as the secret tunnels that Haruhime and Belle went through in season 2. But these tunnels are much more well constructed. Whereas, those are just whereas the tunnels that Haruhime and Belle went through were sort of just sticks and stones kind of made up of them. These tunnels looked ancient, kind of like they almost had a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Sheikah technology feel to it, which is Nintendo lawsuit question? No. It just looked very very runic. It was just symbols and whatnot, and carved into wooden ceiling and a wooden floor and wooden walls, and it was just very interesting. A very interesting hallway, byway, whatever you want to call it. So they reach a dead end, and we get a close look at Fell's hand when he reaches out at the dead end, and I don't think we've ever paid attention. I mean, I'm pretty sure I paid attention to Fell's hand once or twice, but I've just never questioned it. I've never really examined it. I may have mentioned this before, but if I haven't, then pardon me. But I'm still going to be surprised by it anyway, because this is really the first time we see his hand up close in the show. And so we see his hand up close, and it almost looks metal. And I say, could he be armored? Could he be an armored knight of sorts? Or a robot? I don't know. Maybe a Tin Man? Wizard of Oz type stuff. I don't know what he could be. Or it could be, really. I keep on saying he because of the voice, but, you never know when someone's under a cloak. It could be an armored ghost. I really don't know. We don't know, folks. Unless y'all know, and I'm just way behind on the story. So then Fels reaches out to the dead end, and Hestia's like, oh, it's a dead end. What are we going to do? And then, like I said, Fels reaches out with his hand, and with the power of fucking Fels the Mysterio, he opens up the dead end. And I say more like lifts up, but it's just magic, so it's like he basically just levitates it. He levitates the dead end wall, and behind it are stairs leading upward. Fells then says, "My role ends here," and I'm like, guys, I think I see that line, and I'm like, guys, I think that's the line I'm gonna use in the finale of the series. I'm gonna say, "My role ends here." He doesn't say it like that, but I'm just gonna say, guys, I think my role ends here. Sayo fucking no. But that's just how the series ends. That'd be hilarious. How this series ends, that is. So he says, "My role ends here," and leaves. Hestia walks up and ends up in. Now, folks, before I say where she ends up in, and I know that I'm just leaving you off with every damn word. So this is another part of the episode, guys, where, like, if you didn't think the secret byway that Fells had magic powers of opening up a secret door to somehow was not cool enough, guys, it's still gonna get better. It gets better than Fells. And that's really weird to say, because I feel like besides Ween, Fells has been one of the most interesting things this season. And so Hestia walks up and ends up in the Uranus throne room? Where he's sitting there like he usually does, because the man never gets up. And he says, "It has been some time." And then she thought it would be him. Like, Hestia says, "I thought it would be you." And they know each other? And I'm like, and then I say, what the fuck is actually going on in this season? Agreed. Agreed. What the is going on? By the way, okay, so this is gonna be really funny. So when I said what the fuck is actually going on this season, I took I just took a small water break because I just felt like it, and I was about to say, oh shoot, like when I was drinking that bit of water, I'm like, oh shoot, I shouldn't drink the water because I know that there's a break coming up soon, and there's probably like a few more lines that I have to say before I actually take a break. And then I look on the piece of paper, and then after WTF is actually going on in this season, the next bullet point is go for break, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice that, and I called it. So yeah, we're gonna go on for break. Let's all chill. So let's all relax. Let's let everything just sink in. I'll let y'all have a ball. Did a ball just join yesterday? Dude, a ball, welcome to La Familia. How did I said, welcome, Hector. Yeah, welcome, Hector. And welcome, a ball. Welcome, a ball. I really hope I didn't... Oh, welcome, a ball. Yeah, Pog. We're getting more members. Dude, this is awesome. The ball just joined yesterday. Kentucky, 14 hours ago. Hector, 4 days ago. Dragon Slaw, 1 day ago, Pog. A ball yesterday, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Oh, dude, I'm so happy we have people in this Amelia. This is so cool. Just to show my gratitude, let's just donate some money. Because I have too much. Did I send it? Yeah, okay, I did. Okay. Y'all taking a good break? Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. We actually don't have much left, even though we have a lot left. We actually have 2 pages left worth of notes. But I might just go through it very quickly, but I'm not, because there's actually no, yeah, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm just gonna get a quick water. I'll let y'all, like, just relax for a minute. I'll just leave the episode to keep on going. And yeah, I'll just be right back. I'm just gonna get a quick water. Folks, I just remembered. I was about to get a water, and and I just remembered. I put some cold waters, or I put some warm waters in the fridge, and they're cold now. That certainly does taste like ice. Yeah. Alright. We good now? I'd say we're good. Alright. So let's continue. So, obviously, go for break. Just want to make sure. Y'all know. Go for break. Middle of the episode. Finally made it to the middle of the episode. It only took like 52 minutes to get to the middle of the episode. Right after the like 2-second break, Hestia and Uranus exchange more words. There's one thing that he says that ticks her off, which I forget the whole little conversation they had there. It wasn't too important. But I believe what he says is that, oh yeah, they are, what he says is that they're down in the dungeon, and that he planned this whole thing, or like he planned the mission to be like this, and Hestia's like, are they gonna be okay? And then he's like, it's up to the dungeon lady, not me. And I think that ticks her off. Anyway, continuing on. We're on the 19th floor. Freaking tree labyrinth thing. I already forgot what the colossal tree labyrinth, I think that it was called. I didn't mention in the notes, but I just remembered it. Where Belle's protecting Ween once again. From... I always get this name wrong. I call it a red reptile in the notes. But it's actually called a lizard man. I don't know what's up with me, man. I try to go for like the most scientific name I can think of in a minute. Probably not scientific, but I just like, I didn't really think lizard. I saw lizard last night. I thought of the word lizard last night. Why didn't I think of it now? Anyway, so from a red reptile, again, freaking lizard man. Who are horned monster guys. We've seen them in game and all that. Wealth and Makoto save them because Belle isn't able to protect Ween, even though I just said that Belle protects Ween. Another wave comes in, like a huge wave, and it's not just of the freaking red reptiles. It's of like these freaking like giant wasp monsters. But then Lily, the absolute Chad she is, uses a magic sword because there are too many, and the magic is strong. Like, it's strong. We don't see much magic in this show, except for, like, Firebolt and, you know, Aegis's attacks and Reveria and, you know, like, every single attack in the show is, and my point is, I don't see a lot of magic in Bell's side of the anime, except when he uses, like, Firebolt. And so it's cool to see magic, like, really strong electric magic coming from a sword that Lily uses to just take out a bunch of enemies. And it's here where I think, like, where I'm thinking, and I didn't write this in the notes because I don't write a lot of things in the notes. I'm thinking, Bell's gonna get mad at her because she used a magic weapon again, and it was probably, like, the wrong time. Because I remember that one time in Season 2 where it's like, hey, Lily, why'd you use the magic weapon at that time? You know, it was only for emergencies. And she's like, that was an emergency. And then he's like, no, it wasn't, and blah, 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 blah. And I thought that was going to happen. But I was surprised when Lily apologized, and then Welf was like, it's okay. It's like, it's okay. We needed that. We needed that. Thank you. And then I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Evolution. I love it. Ween asks if they're okay. They're fine. She's glad. Hanahuman says, cause they're all strong. Makoto says to Bell that all monsters seem to be targeting Ween. Bell knows he'll protect her. That's just like quickly going over that. Man, I just really went over like a huge thing right there very quickly. Continuing. Back to Hestia and Uranus. She's asking all the right questions, and I mean all the right questions, and not just all the right questions. She's asking all the questions, like, what is she? What is she meaning? You know, what is Ween? What is happening in the dungeon right now? Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a oh, wait. She doesn't ask that, but what she does ask is, what are you hiding? And what is your divine intention? And I'm like, oh, Hestia, you're asking all the right questions. You are so great, Hestia. You are so great. You are so great. Here is my tier 3 sub. No. And then he responds with a line that I thought I would never hear from Uranus. I shall tell you everything, Hestia. And I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna tell her everything. We're finally gonna know the answer to the question. Which is, what the fuck is going on? And then after that, we cut to Belle and Co. on the 20th floor. And folks, I'm going to have to stop you once again, because here's the thing. This is another one of those scenes, guys, where, like, things are about to go so bonkers, and something so bonkers is about to happen, that my mind can't even fluctuate when I hear this. When I wrote this, look, the last 5 fucking minutes of this episode were so jam-packed with notes. Guys, I don't know about you, but I realized that at this point in the episode, I'm like, wow, here am I writing notes on an episode of an anime. And I'm writing so many notes, and I'm pausing so many times in the anime, and I'm like, you know, I could study film. I could study film. I mean, I'm studying anime. I mean, I'm studying a lot of things without knowing that I'm studying things. And I'm not going to explain why, but just know that I'm studying a lot of things for a lot of reasons that I'm not going to mention at all. But I could study film if I wanted to, because, or just study, like, the intricacies of film, because I'm a very good note taker, I feel like, and this is just going to be a minute for me to brag, you know, because I'm a bit of a bragger, folks. I'm a really good note taker, and seriously, I really enjoy it. A lot of the times my notes aren't very organized, especially now. I'm not really, this episode, with the notes that I wrote in a notebook for the first time, I didn't write Cornell notes. I was just writing bullet points. But I'm a really fast note taker. And I'm a really dedicated one as well. And I think that really helped when writing the notes for these episodes, for these reviews. And I honestly think with how much I'm paying attention to every second, minute increment, to every line, dialogue, character, set background set, motion, emotion, like, it's scary. Because writing all these notes isn't my full potential. I could go, like, into immense detail. Like I said, I was very close to writing this episode word per word in these notes alone. I could literally write the entire script of this episode in just notes, and that would only be half of the notes, because it would just be, the other half would be my thoughts. It would be the intricacies of the emotions and this, and I know that this is just me not boosting myself, but sort of just like bragging. But I'm just surprised. It's more of a surprise thing, and I just felt like mentioning that, because I don't take a lot of notes when it comes to this series. And I'm really glad that even if I'm not doing outros, like, not outros, even though I'm not writing intros anymore, like, as frequently as I used to, I guess I'm just happy that I'm still dedicated, that writing these notes, like pausing every few seconds in an episode while I'm genuinely enjoying it, and then writing notes about what I'm seeing, so then I can later translate those notes to y'all and sort of just present, because that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just presenting to people, which is what I'm going to be doing with my Spanish project. Hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to be presenting it in a recording, and then hopefully I'll be able to send that recording to my teacher, so then she can play that during class, so then I don't have to do that live. Even though I've had a lot of live episodes of Memoria Freese, but I don't really review things, I just talk. So yeah, it's just a very interesting thing. Anyway, my point is, taking these notes is just showing that I'm still dedicated to the series, and I'm proud of that. Especially since it's episode 899. Anyway, continuing. They're surprised to find nothing until Ween hears something. Until Ween hears something. A song. Everyone hears it too. Wealth and so I said So I say Wealth and others gather around a crystal, a large crystal. But it's actually very different. So Wayne hears a song on the 20th floor, and it's like this really gentle, like, mermaid type, like, song. And what I mean by, like, mermaid type, it's sort of like a trance song, I guess. It's just a very beautiful song. And They hear the song, and everyone hears it. Then Ween goes, and like she's hearing it, and she follows the song to this giant crystal lodged into the wall of the second floor, one of the walls in the second and the 20th floor. And everybody goes to her, and Wolf is then like, all right, I'm going to break in. So everybody gets back. Wolf then breaks it, and then they unlock a secret passage. And then instantly we're in Link to the Past. Because I have to make a Zelda reference in a review about an anime that has nothing to do with Zelda, in which I also make a reference to an anime that has nothing to do with fantasy, but volleyball, and also make a reference to Spanish? What the fuck is this? What? Anyway, moving along. Secret passage unlocked. Song stops. They enter a cavern type area. It's more like oh my god, I'm gonna get this wrong. It's more like a stalagmite, stalactite, stalagmite, stalactite, stalagmite, stalactite type cave. I forget which one's on the bottom and which one's on the top, even though they're adding them in the new 1.17 update. And here I am talking about Minecraft, even though I haven't played in like 3 days. But yeah, that's the kind of cave they enter. It's a small, like, cavern, stalactite, stalagmite cave. And Lily looks at the dungeon map and says, and it's unexplored territory. And, Belle then feels monsters. So it's a dark area. Belle's holding out a lantern, and he's shining it around the room, and he feels monsters. And then he finds, with the lamp, he finds an armored red reptile, and clash. And red reptile obviously being the lizard man, but so they clash, the light breaks, they hear more monsters. Lily then uses lamp moss to uncover all of them, to uncover the monsters. And they find variants of monsters. Everyone is surprised. Like, variants of monsters like ogres and rabbits and I guess even, was there a werewolf? Maybe. There was a bunch of, like, different not amalgamation, but there was a lot of variations of monsters that we've either seen or not seen from higher floors or lower floors or from that floor. Just a lot of variations of monsters that we've either seen or not seen. And they're all sort of surrounding Belle and Co. Everyone is surprised and scared. All monsters are armed and or armored and are yelling. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? And then the next point, folks, literally goes on to the end of the note. The last bullet point is the last bullet point for the whole notes. And you might think, oh, well, that's going to be a short one. No, it's the longest one we've ever had, because it's like 30 fucking lines. So, last bullet point starts as follows. Actually, before we even go to it, let's take a quick break. I don't mention to take a quick break in the notes, but just, for me, I gotta take a quick break. Okay, let us continue in just a few minutes here. Man, what time is it? Is it 2 in the morning? Yeah, it's 2. I expected so. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Red Reptile then points to Ween with blade, and then that's the last thing I wrote before I take like the longest pause, or before I take the longest gander, or like before I watch the episode for like the longest time throughout the episode without pausing. And all I can say is all out attack and all out attack. And that's it. All the monsters are fighting Belle and Makoto and Wealth, and it's an all out battle, and it's crazy. We because she's trying to protect Haruhime with her wing, and so she's getting hurt. Belle then goes in to save her when he's knocked down by the RR, because I got tired of writing Red Reptile, and then he calls out to Ween and points to her, and this is where I thought the Red Reptile is gonna save her, right? Because then the Red Reptile notices she's getting hurt, and I think, oh well, he's gonna save her, or it's gonna save her, and instead it attempts to kill her. And I'm like, okay. But Makoto and Wealth digress, and Belle then fires up Epic Attack and punches the hell at him. Like, seriously, just punches the hell out of RR, man. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. And then the Red Reptile doesn't die. Just gets smacked into a wall. You know, growls a bit. And then he laughs. And then he laughs. And then he laughs. Gets up. And talks. I mean, okay. What the fuck is going on? And talks and says, "This is fun. I've never met adventurers like you." All are surprised, including I. Then we learn then freaking Valkyrie Lady comes in to Red Reptile's side, and we learn that Red Reptile is called Lid. Spelled L-I... Jesus. Spelled L-I Jesus. Spelled L-I Jesus. Love I Jesus. Anyway, no, it's spelled L-Y-D. Or Lid. By Valkyrie. By Valkyrie from last episode, who we get to see uncovered now. We saw her uncovered in the intro, but now we actually see her in the episode, talking. Belle and Wealth recognize her, and her name is Ray. So, this is... What? This is... We got more than 2 talking monsters? What the fuck is going... And so at this point, I'm just like, alright, talking monsters are a thing now. I mean, we already know that Ween is talking. We already know that that Valkyrie lady was talking. We already know that there's like a bunch of freaking monsters that are apparently gonna fight with Belle and Ween in the freaking intro. So it's just the norm now. So yeah, monsters can talk. Sure, why not? But yeah, talks, and Belle and Welf recognize her. Her name is Ray, and says lid. Oh yeah. And then says lid. Oh yeah. Oh right. So Lay. Sorry, not Lay. Lid. Calls the Valkyrie's name. Calls Ray, and that's how we know her name is Ray. And then also says they were testing Belle and co. And wanted to know what kind of people their kin was taken by. And that was okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I understand that. Testing them. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh, okay. So yeah. Her name is Ray. Why did I just repeat that? Yeah, they wanted to know what kind of people their kin was taken in by, and if they would abandon her. Which, wow. I mean, that's some big brain level thinking. I mean, oh my lord. I mean, oh yeah. Anyway, then they apologize for hurting them, which I'm like, and they're like, how are we supposed to respond? How are we supposed to respond to a monster saying sorry for hurting you? It just doesn't. That doesn't happen, guys. So all are surprised. Why do I keep on saying all are surprised? Testing Belle would abandon her, apologize, and then Belle is speechless. Lid thanks him for protecting Ween all this time. You know, Lid doesn't say, thanks for protecting Ween, but just thanks for protecting our kin all this time. And then Uranos begins to answer questions with a backdrop of showing variants of monsters previously shown fighting looking normal. Not looking normal, but acting normal. And I know that it's like I know that I just said it's a norm now, that it's like, okay, we have talking monsters, but like all of the monsters that were just fighting. I didn't mention how many there were, but there's just a lot. And all of them are just normal. They're acting normal, like a normal human being, like a sensible being. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Even though I know it's the norm, it's still a surprise. So Bill is speechless. Urano begins to answer questions, and he says, "It is not certain when their existences came into being, but after much observation, they've been providing. We've been providing them aid under the guise of protection." And I'm like, Guild really do be in some shady shit. No, but that's crazy. So the Guild, and if not the Guild, well, I mean, Uranus is a part of the Guild, but like, the fact that they're protecting monsters, or these monsters at least, is like, what? People knew about this? Like, it's just very interesting. And so yeah, providing aid under the guise of protection. Hestia is surprised and figures out the... Oh, yeah, and then I mentioned this earlier, but then figures out the aim of the... Oh, yeah. So this wasn't the... Whatever. So she actually figures out that the aim of the mission was to return Ween And Uranus then, restates Hestia's answer or realization to, yes, the mission was to return her to their motherfucking village. Oh my god. Guys, I got it. I predicted it. I theorized it. Even if it was last episode. I got it. I got a theory right. My theory was confirmed. The monsters do have a village. There is an underground village. Oh, for the monsters. And I was speechless. I'm like, I can't believe I got that right. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I actually was right about that. I was right that they had a village. A village that we really haven't seen much of yet. To be frank with y'all. But, whatever the village may look like, a village is a village. And a village is a village if there are people that live in an area. So I'm just very proud. I got a prediction right. Guys, I don't think I got a single prediction right last season. I predicted this so well. Actually, no, I think I predicted... No, I did. I predicted that freaking Cassandra thing. Freaking rabbit jumps over the sun and... No, rabbit jumps over something and then eats the sun. Or, envelops the sun. I got that right. That was cool. I theorized a lot last season, didn't I? I'm not really theorizing a lot this season. But, for what I did, I got something right. So happy. Yay. Anyway. After that, Lid then's like, lights, please. And I'm like, what are you? Freaking, what are you? Freaking House of Mouse over here? And so he's like, lights, please. Freaking, crystals hung up on pillars start to light up. And then Belle and co. are shown all the friendly monsters that I just mentioned. And they're surprised. Lid then welcomes Belle, and he says, and Belle then says nothing, because Lid then asks him if he can, Lid then asks Belle if he can call him Berucci. And I'm like, Lid, you're so cool. Lid, you're my favorite character of this season already. I mean, not yet, but it's just, anyone who just asks Belle, anyone who just meets Belle and then is like, hey, can I call you, something completely different before you even say anything else? And I love that. Anyway, I love how many, different nicknames they're able to make up for Belle. Freaking... well, I mean, that's usually how it is in freaking nickname world. It's it's Beru-kun, Beru-sama, Beru-san, Beru, Argonaut. Argonaut-kun! Yeah, okay. There's a lot more. And then, of course, a lot of nicknames. Not a lot of nicknames. Yeah. I mean, guys, I even called him Belle. Yoshisuga, anyone? Anyway, continuing. And he says nothing because Lid asked him if we can call it Beruichi, and then Bell, and then I said, Beruichi says, feel free, and Lid asks him, okay, so Bell says, feel free, and then Lid asks him to shake hands. But Bell's hesitating over here. Because I think Bell hesitates because of the sharp claws, but I didn't realize that, it's like, of course Bell's not going to be intimidated by that because he has an armor on. So he shouldn't really be scared of that. But then he looks to his friends for advice. And Lily says no. But Ween is like, are you going to do it? Are you not going to do it? And then because of that, folks, Bell goes in to shake hands. Hesitates again, then shakes hands, says pleased to meet you. And then we see freaking we see like everyone else in Bell's little group, and we just see Lily. Lily's like, oh brother, like that's how she looked at me. She didn't actually say oh brother, but it's like, I just imagine she was like, oh brother. And so is Welf. And Ween, Makoto, and Haru are surprised. And Lid then says, yeah, good to meet you too. Good to meet you. And all monsters cheer, surrounding Bell to ask for handshakes or deliver greetings. Especially by a female white rabbit. Which is really funny. It was like a female white rabbit with like this Hamilton-looking coat, just like jumps onto him, just jumps onto his face. He's like, oh, like he's just struggling with it. And then there's this other Valkyrie girl who's like, oh yeah, that's a female white rabbit, and he's like, what? And then after that, not Ween, but Ray asks Ween, what's her name? And then Ween says, Ween, obviously. And Ray says, that's a lovely name. And says that they mean no harm. Hold on. Bell then asks the one fucking question we've all been asking. All of you, and I quote, all of you, and Ween, what are you? And Lid responds with Xenos, who, according to Uranus, right after telling Hestia, are monsters that possess intelligence, and tells her that she is the bridge to the coexistence of humans and Xenos. She's surprised. And that ending song, where Hestia seems alone and worried and frustrated, makes so much more sense. Holy shit. And just saying that, revealing that's what those types of monsters are. Monsters that possess intelligence. The fact that they're called Xenos. The fact that we have a name for them now. The fact that that's in the title of the episode. It literally is titled Xenos Outliers. The fact that we now know, that we now have a name for monsters that talk is a game changer in the vocabulary. And just like that, I'm wondering, what's next? What's up? What's the next thing they're gonna throw in our way? What wacky, crazy thing is Hermes leaving us fee up to? How is Loki Familia gonna react to this? Is Loki Familia even going to react to it? I mean, obviously Ace is gonna react to it in some way, because, you know, frickin' she's holding up a sword to Belle. How is this all gonna go down? It's got me asking all these questions. So many questions. It's got me wondering, what's gonna change? How is Hestia gonna deal with this? How is everyone gonna deal with this? What's gonna happen to Ween? What's going to happen to everyone? What's gonna happen to Ryu? If she's also gonna get mixed up in this. Just so many questions roll through my head. But just like that. Just like that. So many questions to ask. So many questions answered, yet so many questions we're still wanting the answers to. We're still looking for answers. I'm still looking for answers, too. Just like that, we've come to a close to another 100 episodes of this never seemingly dull, never-ending series called Memoria Freeze. So much, so many questions, so many things to do, so many more adventures to go on, so many more things to happen. So many more possibilities, so many more tales, so many more stories, so many more quests, events, so many more things to do. And it's all coming up. You know, right after, you know, we do this side story. And the gacha. So we're going to see the folks here. Ween got herself spotted in the public. The whole town immediately started talking about the little monster that can be seen in town. Ooh, is this town talk? Of course, Aurario's strongest Familia heard about the news too. Finally, we get something about Aes Familia. I mean, not Aes Familia, Loki Familia. Yep. Of course it doesn't. It's too far. Completely unrelated. Probably. Oh. Is that right? Ooh. Ah. Interesting. So Loki family intends, if they find it, to keep it alive. Ooh, fate was quietly separating the boy and the girl. Oh, my lord. I'm so excited. Alright, folks. Well, now you know who this is. This, folks, is Lid. And we're about to hopefully get him. Because we need more characters. Wow. Yeah. Let's get more characters. It's crazy that freaking Loki Familia, or that Finn is being like, oh yeah, if you find it, don't kill it. Just capture it, bring it alive, preferably. But if it is hostile, then you do what you must. I like that. I like that. Although I'm worried about what seems hostile. Because if knocking down a few crates on accident, it seems hostile. Or if looking like a monster's about to attack someone when they're really just protecting someone is hostile. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. But, you know. What are we going to do? Oh, okay, we didn't get him. Huh. We didn't get him then. Man. We have time, don't we? Wait. Yeah, we have time. Say, wait, we don't have time. Should we try to get him? Oh, let's try to get him. Why not? Let's try to get him. He was just birthed in this episode. It would be unfair if I didn't get him. Duh. We got Oka. No, but seriously. Huh. Fate quietly separated the boy and the girl. And because of all this, their friendship, man, just gonna start dying away. So sad. This is not Lid, is it? No, yeah, it's not. It's Kurozo. Oh no, it is. The peck. It was the peck. It was the left peck that I'm like, oh yeah, this can't be a monster, but it is. Well, it's not a monster, it's Xenos! Dude, we actually got Lid. I'm so happy. Yay! Lid, welcome to Lay Team! Oh, this is so cool. Oh. Hey, Mayak. Bond? Cool, we got a bond. That's pretty awesome, actually. Quite happy for that. Didn't think we'd get a bond. Well, there you go, folks. We got ourselves a Lid. And just like that, we have... Wait for it. Just like that, we got ourselves another goddamn character in the Danmachi 3 team. Wow. 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 What do I say now? It's the last episode of the 800s. This is episode 899. You know, a lot of the time, when it comes to an episode like this, I don't think I really think that much. Like, on episode 799, on episode 699, 599, 499, 399, 299, 199, 99. I don't think I ever just had this moment of, when I hit stop, the last episode of a 3-month period, of a 3-month journey, of another 3-month journey, and then some, ends. I don't really think about that. I'm sort of just like, I'm sort of just ready to dive into the next one. Into the next episode, into the next 100. I never really just take a moment, do I? I never really just take a moment and never really just take a moment. You know, I feel like what I'm about to say may sound like a better thing to say for episode 1000. Or episode 999. But I think it's better to say it now. When I started this series, behind this counter, behind this white kitchen counter, this white painted, this wood painted white counter, my eye level could only see up to the cups on the higher part of the counter. I don't think I could even reach. No, I could have. I could have reached. I I wasn't as tall as these lamps that hang above this counter. I looked up to them. I never take that moment to realize that despite the series, despite the game being called Memoria Freeze, after every 100 episodes, the memories aren't free. They don't freeze. They're just remembered. Memories are just remembered. They're kept. Even if in a single playlist, they're just kept. And I feel like after every 100 episodes, those 100 or so memories I make each 100 of those episodes are remembered 1,000 times more, because they're just there to re-experience, to re-watch. So, when I end this episode, not only will I when I end this episode off, not only will I remember everything that we did in the past 100 episodes, from Shichigatsu no Kurisimasu, from Astrea Record to I don't even remember everything that happened. So much. So much. When I end this episode off, I'm going to remember everything that happened in these episodes. In the past 100 episodes. In the past 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Remember all of them? And we're going to make 1,000,000 more in the next 100. Because why the fuck not?